Hey everyone, Warwick's here. So the next class in the kind of endless amounts of attention and reworks that we've been getting is gotten reworked, and that is finally Hunter. So now leaves us as Shaman is the only class to really not get a ton of attention paid to it, at least in the initial stages of the War Within's alpha beta cycle. So Hunter's of course got the rework as beta has dropped. Now, a quick background, I've played Hunter extensively in the past. I have never mained it. I don't know if I could ever main Hunter, but I always have very much a soft spot for it, particularly Survival Hunter. And then also I've played a lot of Marksmanship in the past as well. BM, I played it a lot when it was by far the best spec in like season, the Iron Docks, season 4 Shadowlands. Easily the best Hunter spec. I played it a lot then. And I played it periodically throughout this expansion in Dragonflight as well. So I'm not by any means an Azotharian, I'm not an expert on this, but this is a class that I've always had a soft spot for. So I want to take a look and go over the rework, because I think there was a lot that needed to be done with Hunter to really make the class feel like it has some really nice options in both the class trees and their spec trees. So that's what we're going to touch on today. And so let's just dive right into this. Let me blow this up just a slight bit more. I cut off the bullet points. Okay, sure. Alright, so many talents have moved locations or had their pathing updated. Great, anytime we can add more pathing, we're good. New talent, padded armor. Survival of the fittest gains an additional charge. I think that's very good. For a class that doesn't necessarily have a lot of sustain into its kit, no way to heal itself outside of exhilaration on like a 2-minute cooldown, closer probably to 1 minute and 15 seconds. Getting another charge of 20% DR for a class that has traditionally been very susceptible to one-shots. Good thing. New talent, Kodo Tranquilizer. Trank Shot removes up to 1 additional magic effect from its target. Okay. And then there's Devil Star Tranquilizer, so I'm assuming this is going to be a choice node. If Trank Shot removes only an enrage effect, its cooldown is reduced by 5 seconds. So I can see Kodo Tranquilizer being very good in some Mythic Plus situations, but obviously going to stand out really in PvP. Devil Star Tranquilizer I think is going to generally be seen as better effect in Mythic Plus type situations, and you're never taking Trank Shot if you can help it in raid scenarios unless there's a fight that very specifically needs a soothe. New talent, Scout's Instincts. You cannot be slowed below 80% of your normal movement speed while Aspect of the Cheetah is active. I like that. Again, probably more PvP related than anything else, but you know, we'll take it. New talent, Scrappy. Casting Aim Shot reduces the cooldown of Intimidation and Binding Shot by half a second. I'm assuming that's going to be a marksman talent. I don't know if, there's no other things. I'm assuming, I don't know if that's going to be Barb Shot or Raptor Strike or whatever, but we'll see. Interesting though. I like that marksman at least is going to get, at least in True Shot windows, like you could intimidate a mob to start off or binding a mob to start off, and by the time True Shot's over, that is definitely going to be back, no issues. So interesting talent. I don't know how valuable it's going to be, but it's interesting. Kindling Flare. Stealth enemies revealed by the flare remain revealed for 3 seconds after exiting the flare. It's good PvP talent. Unnatural Causes. Your damage over time effects deal 10% increased damage. This effect is increased by 50% on targets below 20% health. Okay. So any damage over time effects. So Wildfire Bomb, your Bloodseeker bleeds from things like Kill Command. You have Critical Shot bleed from Marksmanship's aim shots, and then Frenzy and all that stuff, Barb Shot with that. So nice little DPS, little boosting talent. Depending on where it's at in the tree, it'll probably be a very nice little mandatory pick that you get along the way. That's not a major impact on your damage, but it's just a nice little boost in the talent tree. Moment of Opportunity. When a trap triggers, you gain Aspect of the Cheetah for 3 seconds. Can only occur once every minute. I actually like that a lot. There's some really nice opportunities for that to be really useful in Mythic Plus. Obviously, it's going to be very good for PvP, but thinking about it from a Mythic Plus perspective, I think there's some really nice opportunity for that. No Hard Feelings. When Misdirect targets your pet, it reduces the damage they take by 50% for 5 seconds. I think that's more just a leveling thing. There's not really a scenario where you want to misdirect your pet, at least that we've known of, or that I know of at least, so probably a useless talent, but very good for leveling. Intimidation summons a pet if you do not have one out, and stuns 2 nearby additional enemies at 50% effectiveness. So Intimidation, I think, is a 4-second stun, so these two would be 2-second stuns. There's a developer note with this. This talent's not fully implemented yet, but we wanted to give players access to it early for feedback. The intended vision for this spell is for hunters to summon their pet, and then it intimidates their target. We are not interested in circumventing a hunter's need for their pet to be out to access intimidation. So for a Beastmaster and Survival Hunter, this is not going to affect much. This is going to be obviously have some impact on MM. Someone that generally plays Survival more than anything else, I think this is a pretty cool talent. Similar to what Warriors are getting in the Mountain Thane tree, which is a hero talent for them, but is just baseline into the class tree, it sounds like, for Hunter. So a little bit of inconsistency there, but I think for Hunters this is very good. I like this talent a lot for Mythic Plus. New talent, Tar-Coated Bindings. Binding Shot's root duration is increased by 1 second. Potentially useful. Serrated Tips, you gain 5 more critical strike from critical strike sources. So wait. So from critical strike sources. So if something gives you crit strike, you're just going to gain, like if it gives you 5% crit, you're going to get 10% crit. Am I reading that correctly? That's probably a good DPS talent if it's in the class tree. If it's in any of the talent trees, potentially skippable. I'm not, that one's confusing. I'll probably need to get some clarification from an actual expert. Moment of Opportunity, it's in here twice. We've already talked about that. New talent, Ghillie Suit. You take 20% reduced damage while in camouflage. This bonus persists 3 seconds after leaving camouflage. Very nice. Makes camo something that you want to use. Now the thing is, you can't use camouflage in combat. So this is, unless they changed camo. So this is going to be very niche in its use. Probably really nice in PvP if you're trying to stealth through and accidentally get caught by like an AoE. But getting the bonus 3 seconds after leaving camo is not bad. If you can use camo in combat, this will be very, very good for raid and PvP Mythic Plus scenarios. Probably a little broken for PvP though. Specialized Arsenal, Kill Command, Aim Shot, and Wildfire Bomb damage increased by 10%. Cool. Lone Survivor now also reduces counter shot and muscles cooldown by 2 seconds. Okay. Survival of the Fittest now reduces all damage to you and your pet take by 30% versus 20%. So they buffed the baseline cooldown, and now you can get a talent that does 2 charges of it. So 2 charges of 30% DR. That's very, very nice. Improved Trank Shot now grants 10 focus when you interrupt an effect with counter shot or muzzle. Okay, so it just makes your improved Trank also give you focus when you interrupt stuff. So very similar. I know Warriors have a talent like this. I believe Windwalker Monk now has this, or monks have this rather, on cooldown with like their roll. So very good there. Quick Load now resets the cooldown of Scatter Shot and Bursting Shot. It's PvP focus, I think, but good. Steel Trap damage reduced by 80%, so they basically destroyed Steel Trap. I'm alright with that. Born to be Wild now reduces Aspect of the Cheetah, Survival of the Fittest, and Aspect of the Turtle by 30 seconds instead of a percentage. I think that makes it a lot more easy to calculate. And right off the top of my head, I don't know if that is a buff or a nerf to any of those abilities immediately, so please tell me if you know. Explosive Shot now explodes early when applied to a target that is already affected by Explosive Shot. There's a developer's note here. Survival has gotten substantially increased access to Explosive Shot, so we wanted to make Explosive Shot stacking feel more responsive and exciting. Okay, so I'll take this as a buff. That's a win. Explosive Shot projectile and explosion visual effects have been updated. Good, because they were kind of boring. Barrage, Kill Command, improved Kill Command, Killer Instinct, and Alpha Predator have been moved to the Beast Mastery tree. So Barrage for Beast Mastery Hunters is interesting. It's still probably shit damage. It's really, really bad. Kill Command now being a Beast Mastery Hunter only thing tells me that are they doing something big with Survival and how they regen their focus. So interesting there. And Alpha Predator, I believe this is the one that gave Kill Command 2 charges. I'm a little sad to see that. But again, if Survival is getting a different way to regen focus that is not being used through Kill Command, then potentially pretty good. Barrage, Master Marksman, and Hydra's Bite have been moved to the Marksmanship tree. Cool. I should have read more lines because Kill Command and Alpha Predator have been moved to the Survival talent tree. Very nice. Bursting Shot is now a choice node with Scatter Shot, which was in the Marksmanship tree. So giving all the specs a little bit more access to better CC options, which is good. They dropped some talents down to 1 point, improved traps, which was fine. Pathfinding, which is good. Trailblazer, which is good. Wilderness Medicine, I don't remember that one right off the top of my head. Natural Mending and Rejuvenating Wind, that's all really good. So that's 5 talent points that we've just picked up, or 6 talent points rather, that we are now picking up in the tree. And then Sentinel Owl is gone. I'm okay with that. Serpent Sting is gone. Poison Injection, which is basically made it so while Serpent Sting is active, your next like main ability would consume the stacks and do more damage. Stampede is gone. Good. Beastmaster's gone. Arctic Bola. Okay. Nature's Endurance and Serrated Shots are all gone. So my feelings on this for the class tree. I think these are all really good changes. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go diving into the class tree side. Let me fix something real quick. Let's remove so we can get my fat head out of the way. So let's look at this Hunter class tree. So they obviously moved a lot of talents around. So Natural Mending is now right at the top. I think you're going to take it. Post Haste right at the top. And Kill Shot right at the top. Rejuvenating Wind, which is now 1 talent point, gives you max HP, which is good. Hunter's Avoidance, getting 6% avoidance basically is good. And then Kill Shot critical damage increase is good. So these first probably 5 talent points that you're taking right up here are pretty mandatory. Wilderness Medicine, Mend Pet heals. Okay, so this was just a Mend Pet thing. So not really a chance to do a lot with it. It's probably good in PvP, not really useful in PvE. Tar Trap, I think you're going to take just because it's, even in raid situations, just looking at this row, because Concussive Shot, not going to find a lot of use. Trank Shot, not going to find a lot of use. You're going to basically use it to get down. You're probably only going to take one of these. In Mythic Plus, you'll take both, but in raid, yeah, you still probably are taking both in raid now that I think about it. Misdirect, it's going to entirely depend on your specs. Survival does like it. Marksmanship does like it. Unless they fundamentally change it for Beast Mastery, it's still not going to be good for them. Alright, so Survival of the Fittest, I think we do grab that because the second charge is going to be good. Muzzle, obviously, you want to grab because it's good. Entrapment here, potentially good for Mythic Plus, but I don't see a ton of value in it. And here's our Trank Shot bonuses. So again, looking at it from a Mythic Plus standpoint, I'm going to go ahead and do Devilsaur. I think both potentially have value, though. And again, I'm looking at this tree initially from a Mythic Plus standpoint, because that's where I play my Hunter more often. Scare Beast, it's entirely dependent on the dungeon of whether or not it's good. Padded Armor, this gives you the second charge, so obviously you want to take that. Lone Survival gives you the cooldown reduction on Survival of the Fittest, so it makes it 90 seconds versus 2 minutes. And gives it a, I believe it's 8 seconds versus, or 10 seconds versus 8 seconds. It's probably pretty good, but let's see. Specialized Arsenal, so this is where you get your abilities, so obviously going to grab that. Disruptive Rounds, I would say you could potentially skip this. You want to see. Again, you're probably skipping that. But we're going to want to grab one of these. So Disruptive Rounds is probably the one that you want to grab. So you have access to Binding Shot, Explosive Shot, and Intimidation. They're all going to be very good. Let's come down here. Casting the Wildfire Bomb. It reduces the cooldown of Intimidation and Binding Shot by half a second. I think we can skip that for now. Territorial Instincts. It's going to entirely depend on the CCs that you have in your group. I don't know if this is going to be mandatory for a Mythic Plus build. But we can go from there. Trigger Finger, you and your pet have a 2.5% increased attack speed. I think you're going to want to grab that for 5% attack speed. Obviously, Survival very much going to value from that, same as the other ones. High Explosive Trap or Steel Trap now on a choice node. I think this means we could potentially skip that. Because you still get the knock back and then the immobilize while causing them to bleed. The damage on this has been nerfed a lot, so obviously we'll have to see the numbers tuning on it. Keen Eyesight, I think you're going to grab that. Binding Shot, Stun Duration, I think you could skip. And then Bursting Shot, potentially very good. We'll have to see. I don't know if this is going to be super useful. Camouflage and Mythic Plus, you're definitely going to take. Binding Shackles. I mean, it's probably an okay if you get... Depends on how heavy you use your CC. Then we're going to grab Trailblazer. I think we skip Improved Traps. Ghillie Suit is going to... I mean, we can't use... I don't think it can be used in combat, so it doesn't matter. But I do think you grab Born to be Wild. And I think you can move it here. Serrated Tips, Aurora Sacrifice. Sacrifice potentially good in Mythic Plus. Pathfinding down here. I think it's great. Grab Serrated Tips because it's a DPS, the only DPS increase down here. And then that means you can get all 3 of your capstones. So Unnatural Causes, you grab Death Chakram, and then you grab Emergency Salve, which gives you the ability to basically have Stone Form when you feign death, which is very easy, very fun to do there. Which means you have 3 points that you can kind of spend anywhere that you want. I think this is actually a good tree. There's some really nice path options here. Mythic Plus, you can go grab things like potentially a Binding Shackles. You can go grab Ghillie Suit if it's good. You can grab Aurora Sacrifice if you think you're going to need it. Pathfinding could be good. Just a flat 4% movement speed is not terrible. Lone Survivor could be good to get the defensive value out of it. And then for like the last point, you could grab something like Bursting Shot or Scatter Shot if you want that, or you can come down here and get Scrappy to get more intimidation because it does have a 1-minute cooldown. So there's some good value here. I really like this from the perspective of the class tree. Very, very good. All right, let's go to Beast Mastery. We'll just pick Dark Ranger for now. I don't know enough about the hero talents, so let's see. New talent, Laceration. Whenever your pets critically strike, they cause your target to bleed for 15% of the damage dealt. Does that impact the talent that down here that does even more bleeds? Down here with Unnatural Causes, if that's the case, great talent. Go for the Throat. Kill command deals increased critical strike damage equal to 100% of your critical strike chance. So kill command, which is a big part of the Beast Mastery Hunter damage profile, is going to just hit even harder. Good. Killer Cobra. Kill shot applies Serpent Sting for 12 seconds. Okay. Interesting. New talent, Venomous Bite. Bloodshed damage bonus increased by an additional 15% and makes kill command deal 20% increased damage to the target. Bloodshed, I believe, was an active ability that you could use. It was really only useful in single target. That just did damage and then caused another bleed to your target and gave you bonuses based on that. So it looks like they have increased and buffed that talent. New talent, Shower of Blood. Interesting name. Going full carry here. Bloodshed now hits 2 additional targets near the primary target, so it makes Bloodshed now valuable in small cleave situations. Potentially good in Mythic Plus then. New talent, Basilisk Collar. Each damage over time effect on your target increases the damage they receive from your pet's attacks by 5 or 10% damage. So if you have a Serpent Sting, a Bloodshed going, Barb Shot going, then you're definitely going to get nice bonuses on there. Looks like it maybe stacks it too. I don't know. We'll look in the tree and see. So potentially very good. New talent, Huntsmaster's Call. Every third cast of Dire Beast sounds the Horn of Valor to summon a legendary wolf to aid you in battle for 15 seconds, either Hati or Fenrir. Hati increases the damage of all your pets by 15%, and Fenrir applies to your heavy bleed on your target and grants you additional haste. So you want Fenrir all the time if you can help it. I don't know if you have any control over which one goes first. Do they rotate every time? Is it RNG? I have some questions, but this is a very interesting talent that I think has some really nice value to it. It does mean that Dire Beast would very much have to be in the rotation, which there have been talent builds in the past where Dire Beast is very valuable. And if the set plays off of if your tier set plays off of Dire Beast or anything like that, not bad. New talent, Explosive Venom. Every 5 cast of Cobra Shot or Multi-Shot makes your next Multi-Shot or Explosive Shot apply Serpent Sting to up to 5 targets. Very good for AoE. I really like this talent for Mythic Plus. That is very, very cool. Because you're basically multi-shotting every 6 seconds or so anyways, and then in between you're doing Cobra shots to be a focus dump. So you're going to get that multi-shot explosive shot applying Serpent Sting quite often. That's really, really nice. Bloodshed is now in Gate 3 and has been updated. Command your pet to tear into your target, causing your target to bleed for high damage over 18 seconds and take 15% increased damage from your pet. Cool. With it now being cleave, there's potential that you'll use this in AoE builds. So I like that. Murder of Crows is passive and has been updated. Every 5 casts of kill command summons a Murder of Crows. Murder of Crows no longer resets its cooldown if the affected target dies. So cool, you just get free damage for hitting kill command. Potentially very good. Barrage kill command, we saw this already. Killer Instinct now deals 25 and 50% increased damage to enemies below 35% health. Good. Barrage now also grants Beast Cleave. I still don't think this is a good. I still don't think this talent is good. It pulls entire dungeons. It really fucks up dungeon pathing. Barrage is used by people that think it just looks cool. It doesn't actually do damage. Bestial Wrath's initial damage increased by 280%. So this was a change that was made a while ago where Bestial Wrath did damage when you push the button, which justified its need to be on the global cooldown. Many 2-point talents are now 1 point, and one with the pack, Sharp Barbs, Wailing Arrow, and Cobra Sting have all been removed. Alright, so let's go take a look at the Beast Mastery tree then. So, thinking about this from a Beast Mastery perspective, I think you still grab all these talents. Again, looking at Mythic Plus first, because that's the mode that I care about the most. Probably can skip Misdirect. But I do think we grab, say, Devil Sword Trank, grab, obviously, Countershot, we grab Survival of the Fittest, we're going to grab Padded Armor, we're going to have Specialized Arsenal, we grab Disruptive Rounds, because we needed to get the Binding Shot, and then we grab all 3 of these talents for Mythic Plus. We're going to grab Keen Eyesight, going to grab Trigger Finger, so that we can grab Trailblazer. Actually, you could potentially skip Trailblazer. But grab Binding Shackles, grab Camouflage, grab Serrated Tips, grab Born to be Wild, and grab these 3 at the bottom. I think that's your mandatory talent pool there, so you have 4 or 5 points to spend around as you like. I think that's pretty good. I like that. I like that a lot. Alright, let's come over here and look at the Beastmaster tree. So Kill Command is now the top talent, Cobra Shot, Animal Companion, and Barb Shot. Going to be your first 4 mandatory points. Look at here. Passive focus generation increased by 100% versus Aspect of the Beast, which increases damage and healing of your pet's abilities. War Orders. Barb Shot does more damage. You're definitely going to want to grab that. I think you grab all 4 of these. And that's your 8 points to get down into this gate. So you do go for the Throat and you do Laceration. For Mythic Plus, you'll grab Multi-Shot, so that you can grab Beast Cleave, and you're going to grab Kill Cleave and Bestial Wrath, so like we're already moving down this tree as we need to. Cobra Senses, I think you can skip. Improve Kill Command. Depends on how much of the damage profile is there. For now, I'll skip it, assuming that it's similar to what it is, a 5% damage increase for the talent point. It doesn't seem all that great. But Alpha Predator, I think you do grab. You come over here to Hunter's Prey. Basically, it gives you a chance to do Kill Shot on any target. Now, Beastmastery Kill Shot historically has not been very good, but with some of the other talents that are attached to it, like there's definitely some potential value to it. Especially if you're going to grab Hunter's Prey and then grab Killer Cobra, which gives you the free Serpent Sting. I think there's a tandem that you use there. Wild Call, you're definitely going to grab. Dire Beast, you definitely, it sounds like you're going to have to grab. Stomp, you're going to want to grab because that's a really nice damage buff. Here, increasing your maximum focus, I don't know if it's going to be all that useful. I think it's a potential skip talent for now. All pet damage increased by 5%. For 2 points, that seems really steep. Let me see if we absolutely need it. Well, we do need 2 points to get down here, so to open up this gate here. So there's a couple of ways you could spend these 2 points. I think probably it's safe to say that you could grab Dire Command, and then I think you grab Huntsmaster's Call and Dire Frenzy. They're just all very good talents. Let's see, what do we got down here? So you definitely want to come grab Call of the Wild. So you're either going to have to take the Murder of Crows, or you want to come grab Savagery. For Mythic Plus, I think we grab Savagery, so that you can grab Killer Instinct, Call of the Wild, and I think you're going to grab Bloody Frenzy. And I think we potentially even grab Bloodshed, so that we can grab Shower of Blood. And that's your 30 points. So you're missing Bestial Wrath uptime, Scent of Blood into Piercing Fangs, Killer Cobra. So you're going to have to make a choice here, I think. Very interesting Beast Mastery talent tree. I actually think there's quite a few choices here. Definitely some very decided advantages to your playstyle. I still think there's maybe some talent tree bloat here in the middle. Like these being 2 talent points could probably be shrunk, so you can grab something like Barbed Wrath and Master Handler, or grab like the Explosive Venom. Like there's definitely some really intriguing interplay here. Maybe Bloodshed is not all that great on this, so you don't grab some of your other bleed synergies. And there's maybe some talent points at the top that we have there. Overall, I like this tree for Beast Mastery Hunter. I think this is a good choice. It definitely promotes some gameplay options, and how they're going to interact with things like Black Arrow and things like that are all going to be interesting. All right, Marksmanship. New talent, Rapid Fire Barrage. Your barrage now instead shoots rapid fires at up to 5 nearby enemies at 30% effectiveness, but has its cooldown increased to 60 seconds. Okay. Small Game Hunter, the damage of multi-shot is increased by 100%. The damage of explosion shot is increased by 25%. Definitely AoE talent there. Penetrating shots, gain critical strike damage equal to 20% of your critical strike chance. Probably could be skipped, depending on where it's at in the tree. Kill Zone, your spells and attacks deal 8% more damage and ignore line of sight against any target in your volley. Niche usefulness, but getting pure 8% damage, depending on how many points it is. Really good value. Legacy of the Windrunners has been redesigned. Each time rapid fire deals damage, there's a 5% chance to coalesce a wind arrow at your target. Wind arrow's damage has been increased by 300%. Good boy. Wind arrows are no longer affected by aim shot modifiers. Okay, that explains why there's a lot of the part of the 300% damage increase. No longer grants focus or aim shot charges after firing 24 wind arrows, so it's a much more passive damage. Wailing Arrow has been redesigned and is now passive. It now replaces your aim shot with a Wailing Arrow after generating 20 arrows. And Wailing Arrow only silences the primary target and now benefits from bonuses such as trick shots. So basically, if you go Legacy of the Windrunners, you're eventually just going to get to fire a Wailing Arrow, and it basically will just be a one-time aim shot. Interesting gameplay. The silence aspect is obviously going to be very niche. And you're probably not going to try to hold an aim shot to be able to silence the right target. So I don't know how much that's going to be valuable, but it definitely makes the gameplay loop something. I don't know. Readiness now causes True Shot to immediately grant you Wailing Arrow, and you generate 2 additional Wind Arrows while in True Shot. Wailing Arrow resets the cooldown of Rapid Fire and generates 2 charges of Aim Shot. Okay. Eagle Talon's True Focus has been redesigned. True Shot lasts an additional 3 seconds, and during True Shot, Aim Shot's focus cost is reduced by 50%. And Arcane and Multi-Shot cast an additional time at 30% effectiveness. So they're trying to make you use your precise shots during your True Shot, because if that's the case, we'll see. I don't know. We obviously talked about the marks, those being moved into the MM tree. Hydrospite has been redesigned. When Aim Shot strikes an enemy affected with your Serpent Sting, it spreads Serpent Sting to up to 2 nearby enemies, and the damage over time is increased by 20%. It's going to entirely depend. Like these will probably be talents you want to grab during like the nature damage affix week, which triggered me. Killer Accuracy has been updated. Kill shot, critical strike chance, and critical strike damage are increased by 20%. And Razor Fragments has been updated. Kill shot damage increased to 75%, and it's been moved. Alright. Lone Wolf has been nerfed. 5% damage when you do not have an active pet. Developers note, the opportunity cost of having your pet out as a marksmanship hunter is so high that it can feel as though you've locked out all pet-based utility, especially in AoE situations. MM is always going to be the hunter spec that provides more throughput without a pet, but lowering this talent's power should help make those times where you're the only lust or in need of an extra defensive feel a bit less bad. Okay, so basically they're saying, hey, you can trade some group utility in order to get that, and it's not going to be nearly as bad for you. Alright. Rapid Fire got a small damage reduction by 8%. That's numbers tuning. Who cares? Precise Shots now always grants 2 stacks, so it's consistent in that. That's good. It reduces the focus cost of your next multi-shot or arcane shot by 50%. Calling shots is no longer a choice node with unerring vision. Surging shots is no longer a choice within the rhythm. And Many 2-point talents are now 1 point, and bursting shot was moved to the class tree. All right, so let's look at MM. All right, so you start off with aim shot, rapid fire, precise shot, so you can easily skip multi-shot for single target stuff, which is good. But again, we're focusing Mythic Plus, so we're going to grab these. Surging shots, rapid fire, deals additional damage. I think that's always good. And streamline is going to be good. Steady shot and being a focus generator is good. Probably could skip that. Master Marksman, you're definitely going to want to grab because you're going to do crit stacking quite a bit. Penetrating shots, opening up a lot of this gate makes it mandatory, which I'm not the biggest fan of. Fan the hammer for rapid fire, shoots 3 additional shots. Good, because rapid fire does regenerate focus, so that's a 3 extra focus on that. The ammos, you kind of always just kind of chose to get away from them. Like you could go down to that, but I don't see a point in using these right now, so they're very skippable. Careful aim, definitely want that. That's good for raid and Mythic Plus scenarios. Bullet Storm, each additional target your rapid fire aim shot ricochets 2 from trick shots, increases damage multi shot by 7%. I don't think this is all that great in my opinion. Like multi shot's not a huge part of your damage profile, so increasing its damage is like whatever. Lock and load, I'm always a big fan of lock and load. Steady focus, more of a single target. Chimera shot, unfortunately, it has to be just incredibly damage tuned in order for it to be effective. Serpent Stalker's Trickery, I think, is always good. Tactical Reload is good. Night Hunter is good. And Death Blow is obviously very good. Killer Accuracy is very good. We're going to grab Lone Wolf. In the Rhythm is also amazing. I love In the Rhythm. I'm glad it was there. Hydra's Bite, I think you're definitely going to grab Volley. And you get Kill Zone, just because while they're in there, you're dealing 8% increased damage. If your tank isn't constantly pulling out of the volley, that's just super value. Obviously grabbing True Shot. Let's see, we come down here to Salvo, which is going to be very good for Mythic Plus. So I think you could do something like this. And then you grab Eagle Talons into Unerring Vision, and we still have 1 point to play with. You could probably grab Razor Fragments if this bleed is going to be good, or you just grab Calling the Shots to get more true shots out, or you could grab Bullseye. Like there's some decent talent choice here. Single target, I think this is where you grab like the Wailing Arrow synergies and with Readiness. I think that's where this is going to really come into play. And you would take out things like Salvo, Small Game Hunter, Focused Aim. You probably still grab Focused Aim, but then you're going to remove obviously like these 2 talents, so you gain some points elsewhere to grab. Yeah, I like this tree. I like this this idea. That I think there's some different ways to play with the specs, so it's always valuable to me. So far, I mean, they're 2 for 2 so far on this rework. I think both of these, the range specs are, if you're playing these specs, you main these specs, I think you should feel pretty happy right now. Survival. Mastery. Spirit Bond has been redesigned. You and your pet deal increased damage and take 3% reduced damage, increased by 100% within 25 yards of each other. This has been a thing that has kind of been talked about a lot by survival hunters in the past, where there is like this idea that like survival, you doing this coordinated assault with your pet. Beastmaster, you control like these more dominant, powerful pets. You make them more ferocious. Marksmanship, you're more traditional sniper. So like really flavorful gameplay styles, and this mastery now kind of impacts that. We've also implemented a mercy effect to Spirit Bond, allows a proximity bonus to persist up to 10 seconds after you and your pet breaks the mastery's boundary. This is going to be interesting. It makes survival already with Wildfire Bomb being a cone attack, makes potentially survival having to track your pet so that you can stay close to it and make sure you're maximizing your damage bonus on it. Now in most Mythic Plus packs, this is not going to be a problem. It potentially could be a thing in raid situations where the pets see the behind the boss as a different area than what players do, or because of like spreading out. I'm thinking like Volcaros. If you don't go to the same side as your pet, then you're kind of just fucked. So interesting. New talent, sulfur-lined pockets. Every third quick shot is replaced with an explosive shot at 100% effectiveness. Cool. Grenade Juggler. Wildfire Bomb deals 5% increased damage and has a 25% chance to reset the cooldown of explosive shot and just reduces focus cost to 0. And then explosive shot then reduces the cooldown of Wildfire Bomb by 4 seconds. Cool. Exposed Flank. Your flanking strike exposes the weakness in your enemy's defenses, increasing the damage of your kill command by 10%, and allowing your kill command to also hit 2 additional enemies for 10 seconds. Very cool. Some nice little cleave built in here. Flanking strike always been good because it's been a big focus generation for the spec for a long time. Does move you, which can sometimes troll. Survival does have some trolling movement abilities with Harpoon and with flanking strike, so we'll have to see. Contagious Reagents. Reapplying Serpent Sting spreads it to up to two nearby enemies. Probably can be skipped, in my opinion. Outland Venom. Each damage over time effect you have on a target increases the critical strike damage they receive from you by 2%. That doesn't feel very powerful. Casting Butchery makes your next Raptor Strike or Mongoose Bite hit up to 3 nearby targets. Oh, that is freaking cool. I like that a lot. Makes it that you want to weave in Butchery and Raptor Strikes, which is awesome. New talent. Sick'em. Kill shot critical strikes and reset the cooldown of kill command. Very, very nice. I like that. That's really cool too. Because with the Ranger talent for a long time, Survival actually had the most powerful kill shot. It was really funny. Symbiotic Adrenaline. The cooldown of Coordinated Assault is reduced by 60 seconds. Ooh. Ooh, okay. New talent, Relentless Primal Ferocity. While Coordinated Assault is active, kill command generates 2 stacks of Tip of the Spear. You gain 10% haste, and the bonus damage from Tip of the Spear is increased by 50%. Alright, makes your Coordinated Assault much more bursty, so you're looking for a true burst window here. Tip of the Spear has been redesigned. Kill command increases the next damage of your non-pet spell by 15%, stacking up to 3 times. So this could actually go off of your... It's not just Raptor Strike and Mongoose Bite. It is now potentially working off of things like Butchery or Wildfire Bomb. That is really, really interesting. And you now only consume 1 stack of Tip of the Spear at a time, and multiple stacks of the Tip of the Spear no longer increases. So it's always a flat damage bonus, but Tip of the Spear is now like a charge system. Ah, interesting. Dev note. We're pleased with the theme and gameplay that Tip of the Spear provides, and enjoy its role as a meaningful outlet for kill command resets. As such, we're expanding this talent's use case and introduce a range of effects across the tree to make it more of a core rotational concept. Great, I love this. I've been a big fan of Tip of the Spear for a long time. Flanking Strike now gains double the damage bonus from Tip of the Spear, so Flanking Strike obviously included in it. Flanker's Advantage has been redesigned. Is that... Oh, that's Exposed Flank. Okay. Kill Command has a 10% increased chance to immediately reset its cooldown, increased by 100% when Kill Command critically strikes a target. Tip of the Spear's bonus damage is increased by up to 100% based on your critical strike chance. So obviously, crit stacking is going to be a thing still with Survival Hunter. I'm alright with that. Spearhead has been redesigned. You and your pet charge your enemy target, applying a heavy bleed that increases your chance to critically strike them by 30% for 10 seconds. Okay. Very much still the single target cooldown, but one that has... I think a little bit more potential now. It doesn't have that weird duration extension gameplay, I think. We'll see. Deadly Duo has been redesigned. The cooldown of Spearhead is reduced by 30 seconds and increases your crit damage against the target by 30% for 10 seconds. So now you're going to crit them more often, you're going to crit them even more heavy. That's probably fine. Very good single target cooldown. Potentially see play of it outside of Coordinated Assault like we've had in the past. We'll figure it out. Viper's Venom has been redesigned. Raptor Spites and Mongoose Bite now apply Serpent Sting. Cool. Aspect of the Eagle has been redesigned. Increases the range of your Raptor Strike and Mastery of Spirit Bond to 40 yards for 15 seconds. Interesting. Bombardier has been redesigned. Casting Coordinated Assault now grants 2 charges of Wildfire Bomb. That hasn't changed. When Coordinated Assault ends, Explosive Shot has no cooldown and costs 0 focus for 4 seconds. So you definitely want to track your timing on your cooldown. As soon as Coordinated Assault ends, you want to fire off an Explosive Shot to get it for free. You could potentially fire off 2 or 3 of them in a global cooldown. 2 of them in a global cooldown. So, very nice. Ruthless Marauder has been redesigned. Wildfire Bomb cooldown reduction effect is now 1 second by default and no longer increased by the second talent point. Okay. Okay. Coordinated assault now allows kill shot to be usable on targets regardless of health. I think that's always been the case because it was just like you had your cooldown, use it on that. Wildfire Infusion has been redesigned. Rest in peace, Wildfire Infusion. You were the greatest talent in Warcraft history, in my opinion. But I kind of understand what they're doing. Mongoose Bite and Raptor Strike have a 15% chance to reset Kill Command's cooldown, and Kill Command reduces the cooldown of Wildfire Bomb by 2 seconds. So Butchery reduces Wildfire Infusion. Wildfire Infusion now reduces Wildfire Bombs through Kill Command. Like, a lot of really interesting synergies here. That said, I really liked Wildfire Infusion with Pheromone Bomb and stuff like that. I think that was a fun gameplay loop. I really enjoyed that. Sad to see it go, personally. Wildfire Bomb's damage over time effect is now a rolling periodic. Oh, that's very good. Grenade Juggler and Bombardier now use an activation overlay. Interesting. A lot of talent points, but Carve is gone, Coordinated Kill is gone, Birds of Prey is gone, Intense Focus is gone, and Sharp Edges is gone. Alright, so let's look at this tree. Again, thinking from a Mythic Plus perspective. So Kill Command, Bomb, Wildfire Survivor. So the top of this tree is still very mandatory. So one thing I don't like already is that I don't see a way to... Well, I guess I can, actually. You can still potentially... Like, there are builds right now in Dragonflight where you do not take Mongoose Bite in AoE. So I'm going to assume that that's still the case, and Mongoose is not overtuned as well. So we're going to grab Flanker's Advantage. We're going to grab Quick Shot. And then we're going to grab Lunge. So you're going to get as many bombs as you can. You need the 8th point. We're obviously going to grab Butchery. We're going to grab Alpha Predator. We're going to grab Harpoon. We're going to grab Sulfur Line Pockets. Improved Wildfire Bomb. And Wildfire Infusion. So let's see. We're already at 14. So let's kind of be picky here. We're going to grab Grenade Juggler. And we're going to grab Ranger because that's a very, very good talent. Flanking Strike we're definitely going to grab. So this potentially could be skipped with other synergies. So let's look at it for now. Definitely want Merciless Blows for AoE. That's going to be very good. Bloodseeker, very good. Because you're going to grab a talent that'll let you get Kill Command. Terms of Engagement, we could potentially skip. Let's look. We're at 19, so we can definitely come down here to 20. Let's see. Definitely already grabbed Ranger, so we have a way to get here. We're going to grab Sikkim because this opens up both of these talent trees. Sweeping Spear. This is super weak for being this far down the tree. They probably need to look at this talent again because I still think you grab Coordinated Assault. You're going to grab Bombardier. And then more often or stronger one. That's going to be a tuning thing. I'm going to say more often is better. So we have 5 talent points here, so we're going to grab those 5. I still think Fury of the Eagle, Ruthless Marauder, going to be good. Again, with Butchery, with Frenzy Strikes, with other ways that you're going to have Wildfire Bomb cooldown. Like, I think you could potentially skip this. Ruthless Marauder could also see the 2 talent points gone, in which case you grab Frenzy Strikes and, like, Tactical Advantage. Actually, you could do that, where you just grab, like, these. If you don't even take Tactical Advantage, you just grab Fury of the Eagle, which means it has to be well damage tuned. If it's not well damage tuned, you can pop out of that and come grab things like Contagious Reagents or Killer Companion. Spearhead, I think you'd go grab in a single target build. So I still think there's some potential issues with this. Like this gap right here, there's no pathing or nothing in this place. Feels a little weird, but again, I think this is better. I really like this. They're definitely honing in on an idea of bomb being such a big part of the spec. So, really good. I'm a big fan of all 3 of these changes. I think this is an excellent job that they've done on the survival hunter tree. Really, all the trees. The class tree is great. The hunter trees are all great. I don't know a lot about the hero talent trees. I don't know if they still need to do some work on these, in my opinion. I remember last time I wasn't too excited about them. But overall, at least what they've done with the main trees, excellent work. I think this is great. Great job, Blizzard. I will give you your props on this. Whoever did work on this tree, you definitely considered a lot of the feedback that I've seen from the Hunter community, and he definitely gave them some really nice gameplay options, lots of optional talent points that allow people to take things that they like versus things that they feel like they have to take. That's a win. That's a bonus. That is a straight up a win. So nice job, Blizzard. So that's the end of this video, guys. Tell me what you think. I'll chapter all of this out and good things like that. Tell me what you think. If you're a Hunter player, what do you think of these trees? I think these are great. As someone that is always been like curious about Hunter, knows a little bit about the specs, but no expert. So kind of as a guy that's like an informed intermediate level player of Hunter, I'm excited. I'd be looking forward to playing Hunter if it was something that was on my radar, or if I'm a Hunter main. So until the next video, I hope you all stay safe. Hope you enjoy yourself. If you're having fun, you keep on gaming, and we'll see you next time.